I thought we'd go for a ride to start this video. Show you a little bit of downtown Damariscotta.
I see a sky with a reindeer car, but I'm not running. I see a train moving all too fast, but I'm not leaving. And you go round and round and round, and you cannot see. I'll be right behind you, honking the tree. You look so beautiful today, and how the game is changing. Just like a stranger, suddenly you know something.
Welcome to Wiscasset, or I should say the Wiscasset Bay. I come down here sometimes just to take and watch the wildlife, look around at the bay. I love to be near the ocean. There's an old bridge that used to go across over that island down there. When it floods, the water's it will actually come up on top of this where I'm parked and flood this whole area out, and those posts will be covered. That's how high the tide was recently when with the winter storm that we had. And that's about as far as I can go, but that's the Castle Tucker. All right, so I'm down here at the harbor, and I thought I'd do the Q&A down here. I keep getting hit up with a lot of questions, so I thought let's just do the Q&A down here. I think it's better if we just do it down here. So my first question, or comment I should say, is from Donna Welsh. Hi Donna. Says, I heard through the grapevine that living in Maine is very expensive. The 8th expensive state in America. True or false? Thanks, Frank. Donna. Donna, Maine, along with a lot of other states, they're comparable. They have different, they've got many different taxes. Like Texas doesn't have a state tax. You don't pay state tax. You don't file a state tax form. Most of the oil companies in Texas pay the state taxes, so we don't have that there. Maine does have a state tax, so it's kind of offset. Each state has their different taxes. Virginia has a personal property tax. My neighbor used to have to pay personal property tax on all 3 of his cars and his boat every year. It was crazy. I was like, man, I'm glad I didn't stay in Virginia because it was just too much. Everything after the pandemic, the post-pandemic era that we're living in, is more expensive. Food is trucked in from everywhere. If it isn't grown or manufactured in your state, it's going to be trucked in and it's going to be more expensive. That's just corporate greed is what I can chalk it up to, because Shaw's is probably the most expensive grocery store in the state of Maine. Notice the price, $12.99. I just bought some of this over at the Dollar General, and it was like $9. All right, so $29.99 for a 15-point. That's a 15-pound bag of dog food, which used to be 17 pounds. $29.99. They are gouging people like you would not believe. There was 2 watch batteries. I think they're called CR1225s that I bought for my wife's reading light. It's just a little reading light you clip on your book. For 2 of them at Shaw's would have cost me $8. I ordered 10 of them from Toshiba off Amazon, and I spent the same $8 and got 10 batteries. They came in this morning. So A lot of people are ordering from Amazon, Target, Walmart, whatever. They'll ship to your house. Dog food, all that stuff. If you can find a better deal online, order your stuff and have it shipped to your house. I'll leave a link in the description, by the way, for my Amazon link. But yeah, it's going to be more expensive depending on your needs. If you need a bigger house than most people, yeah, it's going to probably be more expensive. The more space you have, the more stuff. That's why I recommend people buy instead of rent. There's a lot of people living downtown here in Wiscasset. A lot of these houses you see, you think, oh, that's just a really pretty house downtown in the village of Wiscasset. No, it's an apartment. There's actually like probably 2 or 3 families living there. There's an apartment up on the hill there. It's a nice old house. I guess it's a Federalist style, but it's occupied by like 4 different residents. And I was like, what? And they're all doctors and lawyers, older people, but yeah, they don't want to take and maintain a house anymore, so they just rent. And I can understand that. My uncle does that. He has a place in Florida and he has a place up here. And he just flies back and forth, takes all the Facebook selfies, you know, wants to look like the big shot. It works for him. But as far as, you know, I don't know. I personally don't want to give people that kind of control over my life, so I guess I'm going to always own something. No one's going to tell me you have to get a shot in order to rent my apartment. It's not going to happen. I got a house. I'm going to keep my house. I'm going to improve on it, whatever. Actually, the place that I have, if the real estate keeps going the way it is, I'll probably be able to sell my place in a few more years for like 1.2 million. So I don't know. But yeah, it can be expensive, but you can offset that by doing a lot of online shopping. I recommend Amazon only because I'm a Prime member, and if you're a Prime member, you're covered. I recommend if you're going to buy anything, especially electronics, you know, whether it's a gimbal, whether it's a camera, headset, whatever. If you're a Prime member, you're covered. When you get it, you put it in operation, it doesn't work right, it's defective, you're going to get your money back, you're going to be covered. If you deal directly with a Chinese manufacturer, you're going to get burned, all right? So I recommend a lot of online shopping. Dog food, cat litter, all that stuff. I'm a postman, I deliver that stuff. So yeah, I recommend that stuff highly. Let me see, let's move on to the next comment. I'm sorry I dragged on too long on that one. I hope that answers your question, Donna, but things aren't as expensive as they might seem. Like I said, it all depends where you shop, and I order a lot of stuff online. It's convenient, and I'm protected by Amazon when I order my stuff. So I'm not going to get burned by any of the corporations, all right? 900 BCY, I love New England, and winter snow doesn't depress me at all. Right on. It's just snow, it's just precipitation. Jesus David Garcia Castro Luque commented, I fell letting this, oh, he's talking about my carpet cleaning video that I made. I made a video when I first started YouTube in 2016. I made a video on how to clean your carpet properly. I think it's this one here. And yeah, it's just, I was tired of the corporations ripping you off and telling you to put the solution inside the machine, which is wrong. You put it in a garden pump sprayer. I'll leave a link in the description of this video. There's a link in the description of the other video. Just get a cheap garden pump sprayer, pump it up, spray the solution, the soapy water that you dilute. Use about a cup for a gallon. Dilute it, spray your carpet or the affected area, clean it, and then put the soap under your sink and you can use it again later. But yeah, he said he felt leaving the solution on there was too long. Okay, 10, 15 minutes, it's an approximation. You do you, I'll do me, okay? Donna Welsh. Again, Donna, let me answer this question. I'm thinking of moving to Maine. My house in California is in a trust for my daughter. She's 18 and the trust falls apart when she's 25. Got some time to do my homework, thinking of driving across to Maine. I have no mortgage in 7 years and I would be here for 20 years, so I'll have a big chunk of money. But if you're gonna have a big chunk of money, you could actually build something. I mean, I would, if you're thinking about like maybe the next couple of years, just looking, come up here for a vacation, look for some land. Anywhere along Route 1, you're going to be close to the shops, the villages and things like that, the towns like this, and you'll still be close to the coast, so you can go and see the beach and do whatever. And the further north you go, the closer you get to Bangor, that's the snow belt. That's where they get pounded with snow. We don't get as much snow down here. Sometimes we do, but not as much as them. They always get hammered up there. My sister lives up that way, just west of Bangor, and they get hammered every single year. So you can look for a place up there. Maybe I'll do a video where I go over to Bradford Road and I'll show you the new Foy development they're doing. They're doing houses out there, brand new houses. Maybe I'll go take a look at them once they start building. Thank you for your service. Yeah, it's going to be a culture shock if you live in New York City. All right, you got 8 million people stacked on top of each other in the size of in a city the size of Knoxville, Tennessee. All right, it's not ideal. All right, and they're having housing issues right now with housing people. They've got so many people wanting to move there. Realtor.com. Don't trust the estimates you see on Realtor.com. They're estimates. They're not even close. When I looked at my house, the mortgage estimate was like $1,800 or something like that. Our actual payment is like $23-25 a month. So, and that's, you know, a 3,000 square foot house on 8.63 acres. I bought it at $345. I put down $25K, and our payments and everything worked out to like $23-25. And it's an FHA loan. I was going to do VA, but VA takes up to like 90 days, and most sellers don't want to wait that long. They want to, when you get into a contract, they want to close as soon as possible. They're not going to want to wait 90 days. Plus the VA has to find an appraiser. They have to have their own. It's a pain in the neck. It's hard enough to get an appraiser as is. So my suggestion is get an FHA loan, get into your house, worry about refinancing later when you're settled in. You don't have to move. You don't have to jump into a hotel or wait on closing costs and all that other stuff. It's much easier that way. All right, take the easiest route. I don't recommend an adjustable rate mortgage, because with the way things are going and how they're gouging people, they'll probably put you in the poorhouse overnight. Don't do that. Do a fixed 30-year loan, FHA if you have to. Once you get into your place, if you're ex-military, retired, veteran, whatever, and you qualify for a VA loan, that's when you do the VA loan, and then you'll be good to go. Lived in Maine about 20 years ago. This is Be Good, and was thinking of moving back, but the price of houses have gone to an unreasonable level compared to just compared to just pre-pandemic prices. Whew. Say that 3 times fast. All right, even the county is overpriced, so just be a place to visit. I'm guessing he's saying, yeah, continue to visit. Like I said, people are moving up here. They're tired of the nonsense. They're tired of their Democrats or Republicans or whoever's the chief politician in their state mandating stupid things, coming up with dumb ideas to pay for stuff. This country's $32 trillion in debt. We don't need any new taxes. They need to just learn how to better manage the money, all right? It is a little bit more pricey. Like I said, as people continue to flood in, prices will go up, all right? If you can build. Buy some land, then you can take your time and do it when you want to. It looks like James says, I'm just looking for a man cave, maybe a rusty old trailer with a few dents. You can find that up here. There's tons of them. Actually, there's a trailer on its own land down on, when you go this way, you go down to Chewonki Road. I think it's 119 Chewonki Road. See if it's still available. It was for sale. I don't know how much it was. I don't know. What's a trailer go for? 35,000 or something? I don't know. 60,000? I don't know. But yeah, I think it had a garage as well. Yeah, I believe it had a garage. Maybe 2 garages. There's like an older one behind it or something. But 119 Chewonki. Look that up on Realtor.com. Maybe it's still available. Okay, this is from Trisha Clinch. Thanks for the video. I grew up in Maine, MDI, and left decades ago, but I'm now moving back in a few weeks. I guess that makes us boomerangs. My husband and I are buying a house in Orono. It's taken a year. This is what she's saying. It's taken a year to make all this happen, but we were diligent and it's finally happening. We are escaping from Massachusetts and the insane liberalism here. We chose to move further north into the state because, like you said in this video, Portland ain't much of southern Maine, is really not Maine any longer. Also, I think there is a misconception that you can't get a decent job in Maine. My husband already has a job secured in the medical field in Bangor, which is a better position with better benefits than his job at Beth Israel in Massachusetts. So you can actually make more money in Maine if you are willing to find the right job and have better quality of life. That's right. There are jobs up here if you want to work. I know the post office is always hiring. So if you want a $20 an hour job, if you can afford to live on that kind of wage, then this is for you. If you're retired military and you're like, oh, I just need 20 bucks an hour, we're hiring. It's not a hard job. Get in there, do your stuff, go out, deliver your mail, get done. If you get done early, you still get paid for your rated time. You go home early, that's all. But we're still hiring. So Orono is a really great area. My buddy Rob lives up there, and that's a guy that we did our mortgage through, Academy Mortgage. They've since sold it to somebody else, I forget. You know how these mortgage companies are. They set you up in a house mortgage and then they turn around and sell it off. But yeah, it's Rob hooked us up. I bought during the height of the pandemic, I guess. We made an offer in October. It was just as the summer started to, right as the summer got over with, things were slowing down up here. I knew the market would be slowing down. And the old lady that had my house, she was a nurse, and she hadn't had an offer in over 90 days. So when she got our offer, she was like excited. So that was kind of good for us. It worked out. I asked her to I did a home inspection, and so she had to kick out money for the roof because the roof was the original 20-year-old roof, and I didn't want to have a 20-year-old roof on my house because it was falling apart, literally. Like asphalt pieces were raining down on the back porch. It got old. And what else did I have her do? Oh, and I had her pump the septic tank. Don't forget to have, if you have a well and a septic, have the tank pumped. You don't know if they had a big family reunion. My wife's like, oh, they only have like her and her daughter living there. You don't know that. She could have had a big family reunion, and she could have had everybody and her brother down there, for a barbecue and everything, and they blew up the toilet, and now you got, the middle of winter rolls around. Next thing you know, your septic is overfilled and is backing up into the house. If they got to come out in the wintertime and break ground, hard ground in the middle of winter, it's going to cost you more money, all right? I've seen it happen once. This was when I was in high school, and that was $600 back then, so I don't know what they charge now. I mean, you're talking like over 20 years ago. Have them break the ground, have them pump the septic tank, and submit the bill to your realtor. That way you know it's done. I did that, and we haven't had a backed up septic or anything. And I'm about to have mine done here as it warms up, just to make sure. It's been 2 years, so we got a pretty good sized septic. My daughter in Maine was on our list. Thank you for your time. Very informative video. You keep everything real and simple. That's, may God continue blessing you and your family. Thank you. I appreciate that. Incidentally, before I forget, in the link of in this video's description, if you would please, I'd like you if you'd subscribe to my review channel. I'm going to start reviewing equipment because I'm tired of corporations ripping people off. And my first review is going to be on a gimbal called the ZN Smooth Q. They don't make it anymore right now, but all gimbals operate the same way. I'm going to show you how to balance it. I'm going to show you some of the features, and I'm also going to tell you the things that the manufacturer does to try and sabotage you, which I hate, and they shouldn't be doing that. That's another reason why I'm a Amazon Prime member. And you're like, this guy keeps plugging Amazon. Yeah, because they're great and they take care of me. All right, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for my review channel. Please go there and subscribe. You're going to find some very useful stuff there because I'm a brutally honest reviewer. My job before I left the military for 3 years was flying around the country and evaluating logistical demonstrations that were paid for by the contractor. If they were trying to sell them a new truck, or I went to Canada for the MRAP, that V-shaped hull that supposedly is supposed to disperse the blast area from the mines when you ride over it. I went up there to evaluate the air conditioning package and read the technical manual. And I would go up there and read it, and if they put brand names in there like Robin Air or something like that, I would circle it and red pen it and give it back to them. They'd have to, rewrite it and give it back to me. So it was a really good job for the last 3 years. So I know how the technical manual should look. I know what it should say and what it shouldn't say. All right. When they omit things, they're trying to sabotage you. So please click on the link in the description and go subscribe. I really appreciate it, because I'm tired of people getting ripped off. My very first video, that carpet cleaning one, was made for that particular reason. I was tired of the corporations ripping people off. All right. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. Looks like I've got to go. I've got to run my son to work. Please keep the comments coming. Name a town that you'd like to know more about, and I'll try and get up there and do some video. All right, I'll try and film it. I'll try and find out some information for you and key you in on it. I've got to run. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.